And we're back.
Yep. This is part 4, the final part. Okay, for sure.
We're going to try.
We started off when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash came in, the Outsiders. That was the big thing. But they weren't portraying themselves. They were portraying the characters they were as Ramon Diesel. But they didn't use their names, though.
No.
And eventually WCW got sued by McMahon, thinking, oh, you're using the accents or using the personas. But, eventually they lost because it wasn't doing nothing. Didn't work. So basically, they let Jubal controversy actually powerbomb Eric Bischoff to a table.
Tables?
Yeah.
A couple of tables.
Yeah, tables. And then led up to, it was supposed to be a 6-man tag at Bastard Division 1996, but Outsiders didn't have a third guy. They're teasing who the third guy is, who's the third guy, blah, 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 blah.
We all know who it was.
Yeah.
But at the point in time, no one knew.
No one knew.
And boy, howdy, didn't that make some press.
And we were shocked to hell. I mean, Hulk Hogan was the third guy, and kind of made sense when he talked about it, because he was there, in his last stint of the WWE. Hall and Nash were there.
And also, this is something we have to go back a little bit too. Hogan at one point in time in WCW had no traction, wasn't getting any. Fans were going basically, fuck you.
Yeah, it's the same old shit.
We're tired of it.
Tired of seeing the shirt ripped off. Tired of seeing vitamins, prayers, yada yada.
And the
yada.
yellow and the pink and the then and the then.
Like 1985 call, they want their promo back.
Yeah, and it just got to the point where it was like,
no,
okay, 1985 call.
Yeah, give us something different.
And boy, didn't they get something different, because they didn't know. No, those fans.
They didn't
see it coming.
Yeah, and what happened? A bunch of trash in the ring.
Yeah.
That thing was total litter. That's ridiculous. I've seen worse than that I've seen on the beach after 4th of July.
I've seen worse than that at a Britney Spears concert.
Oof.
I've never been to one.
So I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the NWO, the New World Order, was formed. Now, this is not supposed. The original concept from it was from.
Actually, it was from Japan, and as I said in the past video, first one, as so much else has been stolen from Japan. Japan is where, you have, I'm not going to go into it because we're going to have to dedicate an entire video for Japan.
Yeah.
Several moves have been stolen from Japan, several storylines, IDs, characters,
Yeah, you name
But
it.
what's great about Japan, too, is that it's also fostered so many great performers.
I agree.
And I'm going to try and...
Yeah, so we'll save it for another time and place. But yeah, so NWO, it was formed not to be just a faction. It was supposed to be going to be a separate company.
Right. So
rival WCW, take over everybody, take over the shows, take over the roster, take over all the money, and then.
Well, they at least accomplished the last one. They did get a lot of money.
Yeah. And and they got a lot of recognition from the fans because they were a rebel group, opposite. This was way before D-Generation X. They are a bunch of rebels, breaking the rules. Making their own rules, and then other people were going over. You had the Giant, aka the Big Show. You had who else? You had Rick Rude going. You had Buff Bagwell, Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
God damn.
Oh my God.
God, really?
Really.
Ted
DiBiase came in. You
had Sean Waltman. 6.
Who?
1, 2, 3 Kid.
Who?
X-Pac.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. Rick Rude.
Big Papa Pump.
Then
the Giant Muscle.
Yeah, and Virgil, aka Vincent, aka God knows what else name he's using right now.
Let me see who
Disciple,
else.
aka Brutus Barber Beefcake, aka Zodiac, aka Booty Man,
aka Sybil,
aka Hogan's ass kisser.
You also had God, who else?
A lot of people.
Yeah, Scott Norton, but Scott Norton was for real, man. That guy is scary.
My God. Would you? That's another guy you want. Like Randy Orton, that's another guy you do not want to piss off.
Look up the word stiff in the dictionary. You're going to see a picture of him right next to it.
Yeah.
But the NWO, at the heart of it, was Hogan, Hall, and Nash. And like I said in the beginning, there was a moment when Rey Mysterio got lawn darted into the side of that trailer. And to this day, I still pop for it. That is just great. And,
and the thing is, what really drove the NWO was when Bischoff joined. He was the president of WCW, but yeah, he was on the other side, making everybody miserable.
And that's when it really got off, I think, because, you know, you had the living legend Larry Zbyszko calling it New World Odor. You know,
and the broadcast team, once they heard the music, like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
They'll take over the announce booth, for one thing.
Yeah, quite a bit, and quite often they did that.
Yeah, and they branched out. They had their own pay-per-view. We only had one referee.
Yeah.
All the matches, Nick Patrick. And God knows how tired he was.
Nick Patrick is really a really great ref.
Yeah, next to Tommy Young.
And we also have to talk about something else. In the period of time, people showing up, you know, in WCW, they never really brought their titles. I know you know where I'm going with this.
Oh.
And there was a female wrestler who showed up, and and anybody that knows your history knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even have to go there, but I'm going to, because that's the kind of people we are. That's the show.
Mm-hmm.
Medusa.
Alundra Blaze
shows up, grabs a trash can, puts it on the announce table. This is back when Bischoff
was announcing.
And
Mongo.
takes the title and dumps it into the women's title
of World Wrestling Federation.
The original one.
Yeah.
Not the one being held by Layla.
Who?
Yeah.
Who? And sorry, Undertaker. Anyway, so basically, Bischoff was revolutionizing wrestling. Basically, he was going live while Raw was being taped.
He brought in a lot of the light heavyweights and the
cruiserweights.
But here's another thing. Bischoff didn't introduce Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero,
Jericho,
and
Malenko. It was
Paul Heyman, ECW.
Yeah.
You know.
See, that back then was all just regional. Bischoff, you know, he brought him in on a national level. But Paulie should be, and he needs to be credited for, you know, introducing Lucha Libre.
And Lucha Libre and Extreme USA. Style, and also Psicosis and Juventud and so many other guys. So many others.
All right, so
and Pillman went to actually.
Yeah, there's very few who went to all three. You know, Austin, WWE, WCW, and ECW. Even Dusty Rhodes went to ECW for a short time. So let's fast forward a little bit. You know, cruiserweights, they were impactful, but then they kind of got buried.
Really?
Really buried. They're considered a backbone. But fast forward, Vince Russo comes in.
Well.
Oh shit.
Now, we're gonna have to fast forward through something like this because I have to talk about something that really kind of irks me, and it's been irking me for years. But it has a silver lining to it. It's just that Bash at the Beach,
2000. Oh my god. Talk about controversy. Talk about story of this was Hogan hadn't showed up yet. It was supposed to be Hogan versus Jarrett in the world title match. Hogan hadn't showed up yet.
Yeah.
Basically, Hogan shows up, but he wasn't aware of a plan going on. And what? So he said Jeff Jarrett lays down, which he rarely does. I'm sure of it. And then Vince Russo was there.
Knowing Jarrett and knowing his family, he's probably not something I would believe.
He would do. No. But Hogan was like, you know, what's going on? He goes, you know, covers
Russo
him.
threw the title to him.
Yeah. It's like, you want this? Here you go. And, you know.
You never throw a title.
No, especially a world title.
A world title.
Yeah.
I don't know about somebody else who did that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But Russo comes, then Hogan covers, but I guess they didn't consider it legitimate. So, and then Russo comes out, cuts his promo, how Hogan's a piece of shit. You know, never will see him again.
Isn't it ironic that they both work in the same company today?
Oh my god. I'm sure.
Hi, Dixie.
Hi. We love you. Anyway, so Russo, everybody thought, you know, he's the cause of, you know, draining WCW, driving it into the ground, you know, because he could really run the company. You know, he was more of a creative.
He was a writer.
He was a writer.
And then he brought in Ed Ferrara, and there's just something that I have never forgiven either of them for, and I doubt I ever will.
Monkey and JR.
Thank you. I have stood here and said that Jim Ross is probably the greatest professional wrestling announcer
next to
Gordon Soley of all time. I'll put, you know, him in that league because so many others have.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go and mock him, a man who suffered 3 bouts of Bell's palsy.
So yeah, I understand you grieve, but everybody had to help again. So, but you know, WCW was great. Vince Russo, for all you fucked it up. Anyway, so with that said,
we will continue this on another.
Yeah, we'll continue it. But like I said, YouTube has regulations. It sucks. So, for that, this is Ian.
This is Sean.
This has been Wrestling Unfiltered Episode 2. Watch it, comment, give us questions, please. You know, we want recognition. Not money, just recognition. Money will help. But so, with that being said, peace out.
Peace.